gonna have a great time doing it. So we're gonna wait for our gauge. I got it where I wanted at 35 psi. Now this may be a little high. Good afternoon, Defiant Jeepers. Today we find ourselves unboxing a few more items for Defiant. Now in our previous video we went ahead and unboxed the 4-inch lift kit and some accessories for that lift kit, which included drive shafts. Today we're going to mess more with the drivetrain of things. So I went ahead and I took the liberty of inspecting these packages before I started. Where am I going to put this down? Before I started, so I can go and make sure everything's all right on the up and up and there's nothing missing. But I'm actually super excited to show you what we got here. Now we're going to start with the Eaton Detroit True Tracks. We're going to go front and rear on the True Tracks on these things, and this is definitely a choice. Now you can go in the direction of putting, let's say, a true locker in the rear, like let's say a Detroit locker or a Yukon Grizzly or anything of that nature, and it'll still work fine. Even if you got one of these in the front. Let's get that out of the way for a second. You know, which would be totally acceptable. Now, these come bagged and they are oiled for shipping and storage reasons. I really don't want to touch it. I'm not wearing gloves right now. And another reason I don't want to touch it without gloves is because the acidic residue from your fingerprints left on any unsurfaced metal will help make it start to rust. So we're going to go and protect it by not touching it. But definitely a brilliant design over here, walking away from an open differential. Now, so what this is going to do for the front is when you put it in four-wheel drive, we're going to have a true posi going on in the front in four-wheel drive. And it doesn't matter if it's 4 high or 4 low. The way the True Tracks work, it's just like any other posi. It sends power equally to both wheels at any given point where, let's say I got one tire high up in the air, or one tire is slipping in mud or water or something else. The tire that is getting more traction, power will be transferred to that one tire with more traction to get you out of a bad predicament. And of course, we're going to be running both the Dana 30 and the Dana 44. And please excuse my resistance over here. These things are pretty heavy. So, and you can tell a significant size difference between the Dana 30 and the Dana 44. I mean, this one is cute and petite, you know, of course, for the size of the pumpkin. And of course, the Dana 44 is much bigger. But they'll definitely work great. Now, a lot of guys out there, they're like, well, you know, I want to run a true locker front and rear. And for a strict off-road vehicle, that would probably be a great idea. But for a daily driver, really stay away from it. This is what's going to happen. Because a true locker is always, it's full-time locked. Even if you have your vehicle in two-wheel drive and the front you believe is free, the locker is still locked. It's still full-time. So what's going to happen as you're driving on the street, on the road, the front tires, they're going to be called what's called hunting, like dog hunting. I don't want to say dog tracking, but it's going to be doing this. It's going to be fighting itself left and right, and you'll never be able to get it straight. You're going to have a hard time on the road. You're going to cuss like a sailor on the ship. And it's just one of those things that if it is your weekend warrior Jeep, like Defiant is, Defiant is my daily driver, work, groceries, all that good stuff. And I go off-roading on the weekends. So in this case, no, I don't want to go that route. As a matter of fact, the people from Eaton, the Detroit department, they specifically mentioned that with a True Track up front, when it's in two-wheel drive, you won't even know it's there. It'll act like the open carrier. But when it is locked in four-wheel drive, whether it be 4 high or 4 low, then it will engage. But still driving in the conditions of off-road while in four-wheel drive, it's still going to perform its best. Do as much as it can with the posi, but once you put it back in two-wheel drive, won't even know it's there. To accompany the carriers. I decided to go with Yukon gear. Sorry, the top of it's on the other flap there. So, and here is my thing. I went ahead and I ordered their complete package. Their complete package comes with 2 sets of ring and pinions. Let's go get these out of here. So there's 2 sets of ring and pinions and 2 sets of installation kits. And they are beautifully packaged. Let's get these to a side for a moment. So of course that would be the front of the package. There's the back. Now they are beautifully packaged with everything you need to install your gears. Right, all the bearings, the races, crush sleeves, marking compound, new bolts, and 2 crush sleeves in case you kind of boo-boo, or back in my day, you foobar one of them, you got the spare. And since there are 2 kits, there are 2 of them, but they are specific. Now we're talking Dana 30 up front, Dana 44 in the rear. And my gear selection that I chose to go with is 488s. Considering that I'm running 37-inch tires. And I know, yes, 37-inch tires, most people are going to say, dude, you should have run a 513 or the 520 something, whatever the next gear is. I have considered that. I really wanted to go in that direction. The problem with this Defiant is my daily driver. I'm considering I have to drive this on the street every day. I drive it to work. I drive it to go get my groceries. I drive it to, wherever it is under the sun if I got to go visit somebody. This is my daily driver. So to keep that in mind, I'm still going to gear it to a 488 where it's still somewhat streetable and kind of help me in the fuel economy. I mean, don't get me wrong, going big tires and higher number in gears, it's really unpredictable right now what direction it's going to go in. But I'm still hopeful. With all the other upgrades and improvements that I've done to Defiant, I'm still kind of hoping that this goes in my direction. Now let's get this out of the way for a moment. I continue to do more thinking, and what else do I need? This is a 2017 JK, computer controlled. It's not like the TJs are earlier, where I changed the gears, put bigger tires, fiddle with the math a little bit, and I figure, hey, there's a replacement gear I can put in the transfer case to help my speedometer. Unfortunately, I don't believe this is the case anymore. If there is, I haven't seen it, so I'm not 100%. So don't take that with any solidity, more like a grain of salt. But I went ahead and I picked up a flash cow from Super Chips. I went with Super Chips because I've known this company for a long time. I've dealt with them for about 30 years, even before I was a 4-wheel drive off-roader. When I was into hot rods and race cars and all that such, I used to work for other speed shops. And Super Chips is something that I'm familiar with, being since I lived in Florida. I know they are out of Orlando, so I'm still going to support the hometown boys. Now with this right here, this is a fantastic device. Let me open it up for you. So there is a USB cable, of course the instruction book, and this device right here. It comes with enough cable over here to give you some slack, and a port. You're going to plug this into your OBD2, your onboard diagnostics plug-in. And from right here, it's a simple design. You got pretty much 5 buttons. You got up, down, left, right, and an OK. So it should be super user-friendly. You select your gears, select your tires. You can modify or change the tolerance of the TPM sensors, and because I know I'm going to run about 25 psi, so that one light that says inflate to 35 psi is not going to be any good to me. I can actually manipulate that to change it to what I want, or completely disengage it altogether. And there's many other features on this we can get into when we install this device right here. So currently, really happy with this selection I've made. I've talked to several other off-roaders, jeepers, some just regular 4-wheel drive truck kind of guys, and Super Chips, they seem to be liking it with my combination of the gears and those particular posi units. I still want to call them lockers, but I know they're not true lockers. I've been getting told from any directions this is actually a nice setup. The thing is getting it installed. Now, I have a friend of mine who is actually going to do this for me. I didn't want to go in the route of buying all of this from a shop and then having to install it. It'll run me anywhere from, let's say, $3,800 to $4,200. That's a lot of money to come away from. I spent a good, let me see, 13, about $1,900 right here, and I got a friend of mine that'll do it for a couple hundred. Super cool. And I trust this fella. I know he's been doing this for a long, long time. I have faith that he knows what he's doing. And of course, I'm going to be there with him, recording the entire adventure. So it's something, it's going to be a learning experience for me, and it's something I also want to share with you, my viewers. One last little item here, and I know this video is going to be short. I didn't really get into a lot of detail on how stuff works. I love teaching these kinds of things, but it's something more I'm going to touch during the installation videos of all these devices here. Now, getting away from the drivetrain, because we've talked a lot about the gears, the tire size I'm going with, the lockers. You know, I'm replacing the drive shafts. I demonstrated that in a previous video of an unboxing of those. I'm going to take it one step further. B&M. B&M Performance offers a replacement shifter for the JK. I'm actually happy about this little guy right here. Now, I may have shown shots of the inside of my Jeep where I have replacement shift knobs. Like most everybody else, I hate the factory shift knob, you know, so I went ahead and replaced it with some B&M. It looks like this one here. But what I do hate is the shift pattern of the factory shifter. It's one of those, you grab it, move to the right, swing down, move to the left, swing down, all kinds of stuff like that. You know, it's just, and there's no lock on it, no detent of any kind. B&M went ahead and made a Pro Stick for the JK. Now, this is super easy. It looks like a really nice design. Again, demonstrations of how to install it when I put this in. It is nicely oiled for shipping and storing. And it does come for the switch for the, shoot, I don't know what you call when you go to manual shifting, but it's electronic, because on the JK shifter, when you're in drive, if you want to go to manual shifting, if you want to go up or down, you just slap it left or right. So what B&M has designed or incorporated is this lead right here to plug into the controller of the factory shifter, which you're going to reuse, by the way. You'll plug it in here, and it's got these two detent buttons for downshift and upshift. So we're going to go in that direction. And of course, this is going to be a regular straight forward reverse pattern, and that's why you got this trigger right here. And this is what I love about it. And one of the things that really turned me on up to this Pro Stick is because it has a lockout that really prevents you from getting into reverse from drive if you slap the stick. And what I mean by that is, I'm one of those guys that I'm driving off-road and get a good distance speed, and we're going to use 4 high as an example. If I'm in 4 high, and you can go up to, I think, 40 or 50 miles an hour in 4 high, not too long, of course. You don't want to keep that going on, but that's up to a speed you can get to. But let's say you're rolling. I'm the guy that I will keep rolling. I'll throw it in neutral, you know, get on my transfer case and change the gear selection from 4 to 2, and then throw it back and drive. All this while I'm still, you know, wheels on the ground rolling. This guy right here is going to help me protect my transmission against overshifting, so that I don't slap it too hard and get into reverse, and you get all that grinding sound, and you're afraid that you really broke something that's going to cost you millions of dollars. This shifter, I don't know what to say. To me, it's perfect. I mean, I've been hot rodding for a long time now. I'm off-roading like this, so it's something I went back to. Even with speed shops, with show cars, race cars, hot rods, B&M's always the way to go. It's a brand that I've known forever. And by the way, I am not sponsored any way, shape, or form by B&M or Eaton or Yukon. They don't pay me for this. This is stuff I'm really doing to my Jeep. I want to show you how I do these things. Hopefully I'm able to teach you something. At the same time, I'm hoping I learned something from this. But this is another deal that I'm going to show you exactly how it works and how it's installed in a separate video. I just wanted to share this unboxing with you. All right, so I'll put that down for a moment. And I think that's really about it. What do I got going on here? I got gears, I got the installation kits, I got the True Tracks, the posi units, I got the B&M, and I got the Super Shift Flash Cowl, which this is going to be a lifesaver. Oh, yeah, you know what? I forgot to mention something about this. This is something that I actually recommend you doing, whether you go Super Chips or another brand that you trust or understand better. This is something that I'm going to tell you, if you're upping your tire size and changing your gears, do it. Make all the modifications you can, because what's going to happen if you don't do if you do this change or tell the computer exactly what you're doing, you need to tell the computer, yeah, I'm running 37-inch tires. I installed 488 gears. You know, one is going to help all your shift points. Hopefully, it helps your fuel economy. But the one thing it's going to prevent is you getting into what they call limp mode. If you get into limp mode, is because you did all these changes and you didn't tell the computer, hey, I made all these, physical hard parts changes to my machine, my car, my vehicle, my Jeep. The computer's going to freak out and say, hey, man, something's not right here. It'll put you in limp. And it's going to flash some kind of code, and then the check engine light's going to turn on. And what limp is going to do, it's going to put you in a speed limiter where you won't be able to go more than 20 or 25 miles an hour. And that doesn't matter what road you're on, side road, main road, the freeway, or the expressway, depending on what part of the country you're from. So in order to prevent limp, go ahead and get this done. Yes, you can have your OBD flashed and clear the codes and whatnot, but if you don't make the corrections, you're gonna get back in limp. Let's just skip the limp part of it and keep on, riding off road and having a great time doing it. Please, if there's anything else that I've missed, please let me know. I'd love to help you out. Leave all your comments below. I'll contact you as fast as I can. I do work full-time like all of y'all, so I just will get to you as fast as I can. Coming soon is www.defiantjeep.com. Don't forget to join us or follow us on all of our social network platforms. Don't forget to join us with Desert Wranglers at www.desertwranglers.club. And of course, did I miss anything? No, I think we're doing great. Well, hey, thanks again. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in, and thank you so much for subscribing. We'd love to see you on the trails. Bye-bye.